Tale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Punyavari Sacharidharine
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadishatarine
Shiva Jaya Jaya Purachandi Arati Shobha
Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashobha
Shiva Jaya Jaya Purachandi Arati Shobha
Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashobha
Hey Janavi Satavani Jagamana Loga
Janavi Tata Mani Jagamana Lobha
Hey Janavi Satavani Jagamana Loga
Janavi Tata Mani Jagamana Lobha
Devadashi Nitai Tai Ranmegadadara
Dakine Nitai Chan Bame Gadadara
Devadashi Nitai Tai Ranmegadadara
Dakine Nitai Chan Bame Gadadara
Hey Nikateya Vaishaki Vachachakarara
Nikate Advaitati Vasa Chatragara
Hey Nikateya Vaishaki Vachachakarara
Nikate Advaitati Vasa Chatragara
Vivavati Achimolata Ranna Sinnatari
Kasi Ate Goracha Ratna Simhasani
Vivavati Achimolata Ranna Sinnatari
Rati Ate Goracha Ratna Simhasani
Hey Aratita Hari Devagari
Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane
Hey Aratita Hari Devagari
Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Narari Ari Kori Chamaradudaya Narari Ari Kori Chamaradudaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosabhigaya
Gosarigaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosadigaya
Shivashanka Vajiganta Vaje Vajikarataya
Shankha Vaje Ghanta Vaje Vaje Karatala
Shivashanka Vajiganta Vaje Vajikarataya
Shankha Vaje Ghanta Vaje Vaje Karatala
Hey, Madhuriyani Gandhavati Radharamasara
Madhuramridanga Bhaji Paramarasala
Hey, Madhuriyani Gandhavati Radharamasara
Madhuramridanga Bhaji Paramarasala
Devamahu Koti Chandravini Kananavujala
Bahu Koti Chandradini Vadana Ujala
Devamahu Koti Chandravini Kananavujala
Bahu Koti Chandradini Vadana Ujala
Hey, Gala Deshe Garudaramala
Gala Deshe Vanamana Kovidhamana
Gala Deshe Garudaramala
Gala Deshe Vanamala Kore Jala Mala
Shiva Sukanara Vimigara
Shiva Sukha Narada Demigadara
Shiva Shiva Sukanara Vimigara
Shiva Sukha Narada Demigadara Vakati Vinodati Gaurara Sampada Vakati Vinodati Gaurara Sampada Gaurange Ragati Shobha Jagadana Dobha Gaurange Ragati Shobha Jagadana Dobha Jagadana Dobha Jagadana Dobha Madhur, madhur, madhur bhaje. Madhur, madhur, madhur bhaje. Madhur, madhur, madhur bhaje. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Guru Nityananda
Nityananda
Yadaitya Radha Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Holy name.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Holy name.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna,
Krishna,
Jai Vrindavan,
Vrindavan.
Govinda Gopinatha, Madhavan
Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopina, Madana Mohana.
Hey, Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopina, Madhavan
Jai Govinda Gopina, Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan,
Vrindavan.
Shri Govinda Gopina, Madana Mohan.
Oshanukunda Radhakunda, Srigarada, Sarindiya, Murajaya, Jaya Mahava.
Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Jairi Govardhan, Kalindi Yamuna Jaya, Jaya Mahava.
Oshanukunda Radhakunda, Srigarada, Sarindiya, Murajaya, Jaya Mahava.
Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan,
Srigarada.
Kalindi Yamuna Jaya, Jaya Mahava.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava, Madhaya.
Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya.
Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya, Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya.
Dinadayal Prabhu Dinadayal, Dinadayal Prabhu Dinadayal.
Hey Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya, Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya.
Dinadayal Prabhu Dinadayal, Dinadayal Prabhu Dinadayal.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hari Bol,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hari Bol.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Bol.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Hare Krishna Jaya Govinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Hare Krishna Jaya Govinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Govinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gora 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 Bhakta-vrinda.
Gaura 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 Bhakta Vrinda.
Gora Bhakta-vrinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Bol,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna 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 Hey
Krishna 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 Hey
Krishna 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 Hey
Oh Krishna 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 Rakshama
Krishna 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 Rakshama
Oh Krishna 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 Rakshama
Krishna 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 Rakshama
Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama
Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Parima
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahima
Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama
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 Krishna 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 Parima
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahima
Krishna 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 Parima
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahima
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hari Bol
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya
Hey
Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya
Hey
Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Radhe 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 Jaya Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe
Hey Radhe 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 Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe
Oh Radhe 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 Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe
Oh Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Hey Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Oh Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Hey Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jagannath, Jagannath, Jai Subhadra.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Oh, Jagannath Swami, Anapatagami, Ayanapatagami, Bhavati me.
Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu me.
Jagannath Swami, Ayanapatagami, Ayanapatagami, Bhavati me.
Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu me.
Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavati me.
Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu me.
Jai Vishnupada, Parvati Shri, Divangi Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai,
Iskan founded joyous, to use the whole world Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai,
Jai Vishnupada, Parvati Shri, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki.
Jai,
Guru Parampara ki.
Jai,
Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki.
Jai,
Swami Bhakti Vindi ki.
Jai.
Lord Kaminanda.
Hari Hari Bol.
Oh, glory to this.
Hare Krishna,
Glory to this.
Hare Krishna,
Glory to this.
Hare Krishna.
Glory to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga.
All glory to
Shri
Sri
Prabhupada.
Guru Prabhupada ki jai.
I could just, I'll put back in the.
Okay. They should be here in 30-40 minutes.
Better have some good news. You're all together?
Yes, ma'am. It's live.
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari
Jaya Vijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari.
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana.
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana.
Jaya Yamuna Tiravadachari Jaya Punjabi Hari Jaya
Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Yasvadanandana Jaya Vajjana Ranjana Jaya Vajjana Ranjana
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Rajana Ranjana Jaya Rajana Ranjana.
Jaya Yamuna Tiravadachari Jaya Punjabi Hari Jaya
Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Yamuna Tiravadachari Jaya Punjabi Hari Jaya
Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Punjabi Hari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jnanatimirandasya Janaganasalakayam Dakshismritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Shapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamaya Dadati Sa Padantikam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're reading Bhagavad Gita, chapter, we did 4 already, chapter 5, last verse. I think it's 30, right?
Yesterday it was third chapter, last verse.
Yeah, but fourth chapter I already did just the other day. Last verse.
Mm-hmm.
In chapter 5. Give me a second, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness. 29. See, Krishna does put more emphasis on the last verse.
Yeah.
And he brings it to Bhaktarang Yagnatapasam Sarvalokamahesharam Suritam Sarvabhutanam Knatpamam Santim Richati. Translation: a person in full consciousness of me means Krishna conscious person, right? A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerity, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Responsibly, a person in full consciousness of me in full consciousness of me,
A person in full consciousness of me,
knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary
knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary
of all sacrifices and austerities,
of all sacrifices and
the
austerities,
Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods,
the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods,
and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities,
and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities,
attains peace from the pangs of material misery.
attains peace from the pangs of material miseries.
So the basic point is misery. Material life, dukkhalayam, is full of misery. Dukkhalayam is shastra, and it's temporary. So here's the way to solve that miserable problem. Otherwise, they're simply shifting the burden from the shoulder to the head. They're not making a solution. No, there's no material solution available because the material world is meant to be problematic, meant to be miserable. Why? So that we can finish up our business here and go back to the spiritual world. Robert gives the example of the prison house. It's really a correctional institution. It's sending the criminals there, hoping that they can get corrected. But most of them don't. They remain criminals. They learn more criminal tricks while they're in jail. But some percent will be corrected. They'll say, okay, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to break the law anymore. I'm not going to go back to jail. So something like that. Material world is like the prison house where the rebellious souls, all of us, have turned away from God and come here. So in order to go back, we have to put God in the center. And this verse is clearly indicating why we should put God in the center, because he deserves to be in the center. It's not artificial. He is the Bhoktarang Yogatapasam, the Sarvalokamesha. He is the proprietor of everything, the owner of everything. But why are we claiming that this is mine, this is mine? Therefore, we simply create more chaos in this world. We become instruments of the misery to others and so on. In the name of what? In the name of aggrandizing our position. We want to be great. So we can bring that same mentality into Krishna consciousness. We have to be careful to remain humble. Not to try to become a great devotee, but to be a good devotee. Good devotee means we do whatever is required for pleasing the spiritual master and Krishna. Purport. The conditioned souls within the clutches of the illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary of all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets. And the demigods thereon. No one is greater than him. He is the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Rama. Okay, so this is the reality. Well, we can't see that reality because we're blinded by ignorance or by the illusory energy. The glare of the illusory energy we take to be substantial, but it's not. Unless it's connected to Krishna, it has no reality. It's a will o' the wisp, phantasmagoria. But we take it as real and we run after it, try to embrace it. But it doesn't, it's not embraceable. Or the other side is we're not equipped to enjoy. By constitution, we're not the enjoyer. But we imitate the enjoyer. We think I can enjoy these women, I can enjoy this money, this house, this, like this. So we're running after profit, adoration, distinction, some kind of recognition in this world. But it's futile. We won't find happiness here. It's like looking for water in the desert. There is water, there is happiness, but not in the material world. So here Krishna is saying, we can get peace from the pangs of material misery. In the Vedas, Sveta Upanishad 6.7, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishvaram Param Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. So this is practical, we can see. People are trying to dominate. This is the mood of war and exploitation of people and women and children. Everyone is trying to enjoy. But Prahlad tells us it's like chewing the chew. There's no real taste here. It looks like there's going to be taste, but it turns bitter. Bitter taste is all we get. Sweet 16 and bitter 60s. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in this world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. But Krishna is the supreme predominator in all living entities, including the demigods the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. So we can really appreciate how Prabhupada is writing from the point of realization. Because he's attained Krishna consciousness, therefore he's perfectly peaceful. He's not hankering or lamenting, but he's going forward with his job, which is to distribute the message of Krishna far and wide. And he was very adept at that, and so we are grateful for his giving us his association, and we should feel a desire to reciprocate, to try to pay him back. We can't pay him back, of course, not fully, but by assisting him in his mission to preach this message, then he'll be pleased. And Krishna will also be pleased. Krishna says, no one is more dear to me than one who explains this subject to innocent people. So everyone should become a preacher, not just that we save ourselves. If Prabhupada had that mentality, where would we be? So this is how we can repay a little bit of the debt we owe to Srila Prabhupada, is by carrying on his movement. Any questions? Comments?
No question, Guru Maharaj. It shows that here we should just simply accept the instructions of spiritual master and Krishna and go on and follow the regulative principles of devotional service and to be a good devotee, just to try to please spiritual master. What I observed was a little speck of inattention in following this in every day. We get distracted so fast and far away, and it again feels like doing all the work back again to get into this focus. How to be focused and attentive always, like how to keep this goal in the center always.
Yes, so that's the struggle. The mind will say, all right, you did enough, now you can, you don't have to be Krishna conscious for a while. And so we've been used to following our mind, so we may take that guidance of the mind again. But intelligence is higher. We learn by experience that by following the mind, we again come to the point of suffering. So in both ways, we get the positive instruction from the Lord and his representative, and from the other side, Maya is kicking us. And we think we can be happy by being inattentive, but it doesn't bring happiness. It just brings more prolonged misery in the material world. There's no easy or magic formula. It's just a matter of practicing. And when we see ourselves slipping from that practice, then we take up the practice again. I don't have any magic formula. Say the question once more.
A small matter of inattention will drag us far away from the central point of goal to follow the instructions of spiritual master and Krishna and practice the regulative principles of devotional service in every day-to-day life.
Yeah, that's true. Therefore, this verse is here. Mamsha Yogya Charina Bhakti Yogya Sevate. What is that? In other words, it must be unfailing in all circumstances. What is it, 9 now? No, 14. Try 14:26. What do we get there? Is that Mamsha Yogya Picharina Bhakti Yogya Sevate?
Yes. One who engages in full Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samatitayatan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances.
There you go. Sometimes we fail.
Yeah.
Then the progress is slower. That's all. We shouldn't completely give up, but if we fail to be in all circumstances, then we waste time. We want to finish up in this lifetime, but it may not be that we do if we keep on slipping. So read it again, from the beginning.
One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances at once, transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman.
Brahman means joyful.
Mm.
So we're just practicing devotees, and it's not surprising that we slip, but we should just get back up like a child learning how to walk. Like I was mentioning about Karanda, he was so, you could say probably got a lot of use out of him. He was so intelligent and such a good manager and everything, but he slipped for some time, he maybe a few lifetimes. Last I heard he was a Buddhist. So it depends on us, how long we want to, deviate for a few minutes and then realize, well, what am I wasting my time thinking like this, doing this, sleeping too much or eating too much? That's a distraction from my Krishna consciousness. And it's, we escape into sleep or to eating. Then we have to see, well, this is a waste of time. We shouldn't waste our time. But it happens.
One follow-up question, Maharaj. This unfailing in all circumstances. I feel that looking my past, I see that I fail at so many times, and it gives me, it leaves me bereft of confidence, and sometimes this fear of failure or performance anxiety, something like that, blocks mentally. Sometimes it feels like fearful. Can I really able to do it for so long?
Yeah, therefore Kirtan is the best, because even if you forget the verse or something, there's somebody that will help you, and like we forget, where am I in this bhajan? So that's a slip of consciousness. You're thinking about something else. That's what my experience is. And then I space out, I forget where I was. And then, but somebody else will help us immediately. That happens to me all the time. And then somebody provides the, and then again. So, like that, we should associate with devotees, and then they'll help us. And the Kirtan is the best association. And we can go on for some time without deviating. If the Kirtan is good, right? We can do at least 45 minutes, and so that's the 45 minutes of solid, undeviating Krishna consciousness. Then we have a preaching program, so that also we're meditating on how to preach more effectively, how to have the best way, like they're looking for apartment or house or whatever. So this is working for Krishna. We're broadcasting the message of Krishna. So in the beginning we may deviate more, but then it becomes more and more joyfully performed, because Krishna reciprocates. Krishna will give us intelligence, how we can come to him. Doesn't he promise? Desham sarate yuktanam pajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi. Dadami means I'll give you the intelligence that you can come to me. But we have to be continually picking ourselves up and coming again to the line of ready to do the needful. Accepting everything favorable for Krishna, rejecting everything unfavorable. So it's a razor's edge. This fifth chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation is as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is a path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of the consciousness, of this consciousness, is full knowledge of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So again, it's in the beginning we're doing like Karma Yoga, but it turns into Bhakti Yoga when we become in love with the person we're serving. If we love Prabhupada, if we love Krishna, then it's Bhakti Yoga. If we're doing it for our purification, then it's Karma Yoga. But in either case, the Karma Yoga becomes Bhakti Yoga, just continue. But if we stop, then it becomes Maya Yoga. We're just working for an illusory master, because we have to work, we have to serve, we have to be dependent, but the mind will tell us, no, you don't have to be dependent. That's the biggest Maya. Everybody's dependent, but we're thinking we're independent. And we go off in these fantasies that we're the enjoyer and the controller. So we have to give up that bad habit. Then we turn Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga into Bhakti. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of this consciousness is called full knowledge of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So again, full knowledge of one's relationship. But that we can't imitate one's relation. We have a rasa. The rasa is there with Krishna. So real Krishna consciousness means we're working in full knowledge of our rasa with Krishna. But that's not going to happen immediately. We have to be anartha. We have to give up all our bad habits, bad thoughts, before we can come to the point of rasa. That's explained, right? From anartha nivritti, then nista, then ruchi. Then we enter into the real spiritual life after anartha nivritti. If we think that we're dancing with the gopis, but we're getting, we're attracted to the sense pleasures of this world, then it's not. It's a sahajya, cheaply. We're going to ahead of ourselves. So each step has to be there. We have to get rid of our bad habits. So you're saying you have some bad that deviates you. So that happens to all of us. Just like I was saying in the Kirtan, I suddenly forget the next line. It means I'm thinking of something else. I catch myself doing that. It may be something related to Krishna, but I should be focused on the Kirtan. As soon as I break that focus, then I forget where I am, what verse is now, what line is next, or whatever. And so it happens all the time, unless you're a pure devotee. And that can only happen when you love Krishna more than yourself. So we're struggling to come to that point. But fortunately, we have Srila Prabhupada, who was at that point. So let's read more what he says. To work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Absolute Truth. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya, illusion, due to the desire to lord it over Maya. And that is the cause of his many sufferings. So lord it over, or enjoy, or exploit, or dominate. This is the mentality everybody is born with in the material world. The child is born with it. They want to dominate. They want to dominate their parent, their other siblings. The mothers have to be careful that one child doesn't punch the other one. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial to anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which help one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the above-mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental stage, or Brahma Nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga of mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of evolution or elevation in the practice of yama, niyamana, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharayana, dhyana, and samadhi. But These are all preface perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being. It is the highest perfection of life. So we're aspiring for the highest perfection of life. We can't think it's going to be cheaper and we can just immediately get it. Give me this highest perfection. Because people are trying for their highest perfection in life by studying for so many years to become a doctor, a lawyer, or something, and then they think, now I've reached my happiness. But then they're foolish. They haven't attained the highest perfection of life. Therefore, they're not fully satisfied. They may be wealthy, they may be nicely situated, they may have good children, everything, but they're still not fully satisfied. They don't have their relationship with Krishna established. So we're giving the highest benediction to people. We're giving them a chance to attain the highest goal. Krishna used the word? Highest,
Ultimate purpose.
highest perfection. The last sentence. The highest perfection of life. So we're aspiring for the highest perfection of life. Therefore, we have to be patient and enthusiastic. We've come after so many lifetimes. We've come to the right place. There's no doubt that this devotional service is the highest thing. But in order to become fully Krishna conscious, we have to be patient. Go on with our practical duties, practical work. Okay, anybody left? Any questions from the
Transmission. I'm checking the chat.
how many people are still there?
9.
Okay, I'm ready to stop
Okay.
unless there's some question.
No, Maharaj.
As long as he's in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessity. So Prabhupada is practical. Krishna is practical. But it's dangerous. But now it's shut off.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
His Holiness Trivikram Swami Maharaj.